Welcome back to KonoSuba Anime Review, episode number 6. This I'm reviewing the series Soul Film Released. This one is called, and this is full title, KonoSuba, God's Blessing of This Wonderful World, Legend of Crimson. Yeah, that's seriously the name of this movie. This movie is adapted from Book 5. I gotta say, from the stuff I remember from the book, yeah, they did a pretty good job basically adapting this thing. And here's the thing, the runtime for this film is an hour and 30 minutes. Just an hour and a half film, which is quite interesting because the book itself was a bit long, but I think they covered pretty much everything. The movie starts off pretty much with the crew just finishing up a quest. Of course, Megumin decides to use an explosion, because of course she does. And they go basically back to the tavern / guild, and I guess they didn't get any money from it because they failed the expedition. So all of a sudden, Yagamin shows up. Yeah, the one who looks like Megumin. And I gotta point this out though. Is it just me, or is that all the females from the Crimson Demon Clan, because they show all the females here, they look almost exactly alike. I mean, same hair color, same face. This, I don't know why it's like this for, but the only person that doesn't look anything like Megumin much, like, it's not an exact duplicate of her, is her adorable little sister, which I'll get to her soon. Yemi's here because she asked Kasumi to have her child. And he's like, sure. And it turns out she wants a boy, despite the fact he was really interested in having a girl. Okay, so yeah, it turns out this whole thing was actually, the whole child thing was just a ruse, because despite the fact it's implied that Yuri might be in love with him, but it's never fully developed with. Yeah, it turns out the Crimson Demon Clan are actually under attack from one of the generals Demon King's army. I'll get to the person soon. So they're like, okay. At first they want to go. You went by herself via carriage. So the regular gang decides to go visit Wiz because she knows translation magic. So they transport them to near the village. But Wiz forgot to mention that they're going to be near a bunch of female orcs. Yes, a bunch of female ones. Who decide to get this? They really are. The first thing, because Kasumi's the only guy there, they chase after him like any other woman in this series probably would. And they proceed to strip him and almost rape him. Lucky enough, Yagamin shows up, basically saves. Actually, it's not her. It's actually 3 people from the Crimson Demon Clan that saves them. Which he's left scarred, but not permanently scarred. Nope. So they take him back to the chief's village. And he's an awesome looking guy. I mean, he's awesome. Yeah. The chief himself basically has got a cool look to him. Like pretty much a biker look to him. And the chief, his wife, basically, lovely woman, yep. And by the way, Wiz and Veneer, they're in this movie. After their scene where they transport them, they don't show up again to the climax. Yeah. Yeah. So they chillax around the town. Of course, they go visit Megumin's place, her parents' place, and her parents are pretty normal. Yeah, and of course, the first person to answer the door is, of course, Megumin's adorable little sister. Yeah, which I thought was so hilarious. This little girl is so adorable. Her name is Kimikio. Awesome little girl, and by far one of the best characters in this movie who was not one of the main cast. Yep. And she gets along with Kasumi perfectly fine. And basically, Megumin's father treats Kasumi like a future son-in-law. Because I think it's kind of implied that he knows that his oldest daughter is in love with him. Well, in love with Kasumi. And, of course, they mention several things that happen in this series. The fact he gives her piggyback rides. And the fact that they bathe together. Yep. I mean, I like the fact they mention stuff like that in this, because why not? Apparently she's been sending notes to him, because that's actually a pretty good thing that she did, because they don't have telephones in this world, probably, so writing letters is a possible thing to do. And by the way, Megumin is the second female character in the series where Kasumi's actually met her parents. Now, the only character he's not met the parents of is Aqua. Yeah, not met her parents of. I'm sure they'd probably not be too happy that he dragged along their daughter to this world. Oh yeah, and by the way, does Aqua do her usual crying that she usually does in regular series? Oh yes, she does. So, and I thought this was so hilarious. So, like, when it comes to night, apparently Megumin's mother decides to knock everybody out, and she puts Kasumi and Megumin in the same room together. And her mother locks the door. Yep. But leaves window open, so she goes to spend the night at Yumi's place. And the very next night, they sleep in the same room. But Kasumi is very smart at this, so he decides to freeze the window. Yep. And basically warms her up that way. Which I thought this was so hilarious. Yeah, to make sure she didn't escape again from the room, she makes her, yeah, stay there, get warmed up with him. Of course, the first night they were together, it's kind of implied he was going to kiss her, but basically stopped. Yep. It's almost assumed that Megumin's mother is kind of basically supporting a relationship between her eldest daughter and Kasumi, because she probably thinks Kasumi is probably a perfect guy for her daughter, despite the fact he's 3 years older than she is. Well, not our Megumin's mother, no, because he's 3 years older than Megumin. They go, yeah, perfect guy for my daughter, so I'm gonna put them up together. So have them sleep in the same room. Where did Aqua and Darkness sleep? It's not revealed. No, they never reveal exactly where they were sleeping. So they, after the first day, they pretty much run into one of the Demon King generals, and her name is Sylvia. Yes, Sylvia, a Amazon woman. Which this woman is quite strange. I know she's an Amazon because she's got brownish skin, which that's the same type of skin color they gave the Amazons in Is It Wrong to Have Girls in a Dungeon? No, I pronounce it by the English translation. I don't pronounce it by Dead Machina. I don't pronounce it by that name, simply because that's the name it's not basically presented as. I call it by its English translation name, which is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls Dungeon? This series, I just call it KonoSuba because that's what they pronounce it, both in the sub and dub. This film actually is subbed because even though, yes, they have announced there's going to be a dub for this thing yet, this film, but it's going to be released at a later date. But at least there's a dub coming for this one, which is good. Because the film is entirely subbed. Yep. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, does Kasumi get along well with Megumin's parents? Oh yes, gets along with them perfectly fine. Oh, in case you wonder what happened to Darkness with her parents, her father basically treats Kasumi with a good amount of respect. And in case you're wondering, what about Darkness's mother? She's not there. Why? Because she passed away years prior to the end of the series. Yep. So, yeah, and then, of course, after they have the first encounter with him, with Sylvia, he mentions that he defeated Vormir, Vanir, and Hans, 3 Demon King generals. And she's quite shocked at the fact that he defeated 3 of them. Well, what the hell? Megami was one who defeated them. But he gives a false alias to her. Yeah, gives her the alias of the jerk he met when he decided to steal his sword and sell it for dirt cheap. Yeah. And a minute later, and this is of course from the second night when Megumin and Kasumi are sleeping in the same room together, and what does Sylvia do? Bury Kasumi's face in her chest. I am not kidding about that. That is seriously what she does to him. And apparently he likes it. Oh, in case you're wondering, did this happen in a light novel? Yes, it did. Oh, it most certainly did. And he apparently likes having this smoking hot woman having his face to bury her chest in. And it basically falls back into her chest as like a pillow. And then he feels something poking him. Yeah, this woman's got a dick. I am not kidding about that. Why in the world they decided to make this? Now, it's not. I don't blame the movie for this at all. She's like this in a light novel, which is kind of disgusting. And thank God they don't show the damn thing because it will be kind of gross to see that. Yes. I don't know why the original writer thought this was a good idea. They give a smoking hot woman like Sylvia a dick. No idea why, but they did. So she pretty much dragged him off to the place they went to before, which is this temple, which has this sealed up mage killer. And the password is the Contra activation code. And he's using an NES controller. Oh, and by the way, who made this thing? Why the same person? They did a little research on him. It turns out this particular thing was made by the same man who made the Mobile Fortress Destroyer. Yep, the same guy. Also, apparently, the female researcher who worked with him loves slapping him and using him as a pet. Because the guy was a misogynist. Yep, so it's like as soon as the door opened, he pretty much kicked Sylvia down the stairs and kind of trapped her down there. It's like, okay, let's get out of here. And she pretty much merged the thing and becomes like this giant snake woman. I'm like, what the heck is this? Which, it's kind of implied maybe they got rid of the dick. Of course, they all mention after this. And then, of course, they bring out of course, they have this thing where they set this up earlier, where this guy was using this rifle, which look a lot like a giant-sized version of a musket. You know, the ones basically you take a little piece of paper with the ball in it and the gunpowder, put it in the barrel, and then take a rod out. I've seen this is done in person, and stuff it in there, aim and fire. It's pretty much the same method, except they use magic instead of an actual bullet. The first time Kasumi uses this damn thing, it doesn't work. That wasn't until Megumin decided to, well, basically use her explosion magic, which apparently got absorbed into the gun. And Kasumi's he's about to fire on Sylvia when Megumin's adorable little sister steps in and fires herself, basically killing the Demon King in general. Which makes it the first time that someone other than the main characters actually kills one of these Demon King generals. Yep, and they of course do this after she goes on a rampage in the village. And just by sheer coincidence, this is basically the time when Veneer and Wiz decided to show up at the village. Like, they probably think, yeah. Because they're like, yeah, I know a craftsman in this village. And they walk away like, oh crap, the place is on fire! Yeah, of course they had no idea about this at all. And then, of course, she does meet up with Sylvia later. Yeah, and after Sylvia dies, she meets up on this river with Hans and Vormir. Vormir, the perverted knight, undead knight, because he had this thing for throwing his head around and winding up under Wiz's skirt. Why he decided to do this for, my personal theory is that he's a pervert. And a peeping Tom. So apparently she comes back with Vormir and Hans as this merged, weird-looking monster. And then when Veneer and we show up, it's like, oh, you two are still around? You're traitors. You betrayed us. He's like, nope. And and then thanks to the combined might of not only the gang, Kasumi gang, and pretty much we using like all the magic from the Crimson Demon clan and Megumin to pretty much destroy Sylvia. Of course, and I thought this was so hilarious they did this again, where Vormir was possessing darkness, because apparently the first time she actually liked being possessed by Veneer. He's like, what is up with this crazy woman? And she apparently had no problem with Veneer possessing her again, despite the fact he's done it before. Yep. So pretty much just basically bring a distraction to him, and eventually the combined Sylvia, Veneer, and Hans is destroyed, and of course, prior to this, Kasumi decides to kind of merge with Sylvia because Sylvia took a liking to him. Because why not? And she teetoed with her. And then, of course, they're killed. And then he's resurrected. Oh, yeah, and in case you're wondering, do we see the aftermath of this battle in this movie? Nope. Because we cut straight to them basically riding back in the carriage. We do see Eris briefly when she sees Kasumi's corpse. And she is vomiting. Oh, by the way, apparently when goddesses vomit, they apparently vomit in rainbow colors. Yeah, my personal guess is the reason why both JC Staff and Studio Dean did that. By the way, the movie's made by JC Staff, not Studio Dean. It's because they probably don't want to see actual vomit, because actual vomit is actually disgusting. Yeah. So they go back home, and they pretty much have like a picnic, and basically Megami wants Katsuma to give her basically advanced magic. He doesn't. And he says, why not one last explosion of magic? And she does it, and it's a positive 120 points and forms a giant heart. Yep. Implying the fact that he might know Megumin's in love with him. But yeah, that's how the movie ends. I gotta say, really good movie. Pretty faithful adaptation of the film, of the original light novel. And well, that's pretty much it when it comes to the series, because there's been nothing else released since this movie came out. The movie came out like a year ago. And here's the thing, there has been nothing announced since this movie came out. There has been no third season announced. Well, the other thing they have announced for this particular series is the fact that next month is the release of the final light novel in Japan. Yeah, on May Day of all days. Yeah, May 1st. Yeah, they're ending the light novel series after only releasing 17 volumes. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, not much else to say about this series. Oh, what ranking do I give this film? I give this film a 9 out of 10. It's a really good, fun film to watch. Yeah, out of all the main characters, the only one who doesn't get much to do anything in this movie is probably, I would say it's Aqua, but it's actually Darkness. She does virtually almost not a lot in this movie. Yeah, she doesn't do very much. Aqua doesn't do much of anything. It's mostly Kasumi and Megami get a lot of a lot of screen time in this movie. Which is kind of true for the original light novel as well, because it kind of switches back and forth between the two of them. Oh yeah, and there's also this really cool moment where you have all the characters introduce themselves. Oh yeah, and apparently the name of the Crimson Demon Clan actually came from the guy who made Movor's Destroyer. He's the one who gave that name and gave all of this sort of improvements to their body. Yeah, this guy was also responsible for the creation of this clan and made this clan pretty much like 80s style bikers for the most part. Oh yeah, and apparently Megumin's family is poor. And Vormir is about to make Katsumi rich by making him have like 300 million, whatever the currency is for this world. But yeah, not much else to say about this movie or this series. If they do a season 3 and if it's going to be the same length, they're probably just going to adapt books 6 and 7 because that seems like the most obvious thing to probably adapt next. Would I do any light novels this series? Probably yes. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Yep. But what is my next anime series I'm going to review? Well, I decided to review a series that, as far as I know, has no English dub for it for some reason. Yeah, I have no idea why. The next series is going to be Witchcraft Works. Yeah, I'm reading the manga right now. I'll probably review it probably sometime tomorrow at best. Though tomorrow's also my birthday. Yep. But after Witchcraft Works, next series I'll probably do after that, I'll probably say when I finish with Witchcraft Works. Yeah, my next video will probably be Black Clover. Yep. I'm gonna watch Black Clover next and do its review, along with review news chapter manga, okay? Produce next video. Bye.